Hi, welcome to She Spice. Katt Williams is back with another bombshell, which is about, as a matter of fact, the unbelievable Richard Pryor obviously thought that Richard Pryor's passing was not an unexpected demise. Rather, it was arranged anyway. No one realized it except for Katt Williams, who is currently here to let you know the genuine truth. Katt Williams has ascended as a conspicuous informant, uncovering the disguised bits of insight underneath the alluring outside of the Hollywood business with unfaltering assurance. Computer-aided design has determinedly uncovered enlightening disclosures that are causing swells all through the diversion world. And the truth is, we watched this get directly before our own speed and realized it was planned to happen. He told us, and we didn't realize closed by his divulgences. With respect to the implied intrigue encompassing Michael Jackson's passing, Katt Williams has additionally been candid about testing the portrayal of dark entertainers. Unfolding ladylike clothing inside media outlets, it could likewise be expressed that there's nothing more clever than a person of color in the dress. Okay, well, unhesitant to dive into questionable subjects that may unease some, Katt Williams has transparently resolved issues that have apparently caused the dismay of specific groups inside the business. Numerous occurrences show that Hollywood may be effectively looking to reduce most, if not all, connections with Katt, potentially in light of his immovable and resolute position on these issues. Why, since you know ain't no one falling asleep with him, you just got Tiffany Haddish. She has been doing parody since she was 16. You frequently hear that genuinely understanding the internal activities of an industry requires first-hand experience. Katt Williams has, as of late, given a few interesting bits of knowledge that shed light on this idea. Williams indicated critical disclosures concerning many dark craftsmen's vocations. Those are simply realities, sir. How the number of is that all out 9, so you've done 9 no doubt recorded parody stand-up specials while never getting supported or having an arrangement. Katt's exposure to his previous icon may be astonishing for some, yet the resulting disclosure is significantly stunning. He declared that Steve Harvey, a number one among many, has impliedly made an arrangement, including his spirit with Hollywood. Thinks Steve Hobb is some exceptional man. I'm a kissy old young lady who owns a television. He used to kiss her. That is the means by which he had the radio, without a doubt. Katt Williams is broadly perceived as one of the most clever comics of his age, celebrated for his unfiltered humor and dynamic exhibitions in hit stand-up specials, in spite of his ability and status among Hollywood satire elites. Williams hasn't achieved a similar degree of standard openness as a portion of his companions. An ally noted, not at all like Kevin Hart. He hasn't embraced driving jobs in blockbuster motion pictures, and he doesn't have a show like Steve Harvey being miserable. He once even said, I'm about to feel free to declare my retirement from stand-up. I'm somewhat done. I've, as of now, examined it with my children. I wasn't exactly going to do it on a Seattle road. I was going to Los Angeles and do it in the workplaces of ICM or Live Country. For some time, there were bits of hearsay proposing that Williams had been boycotted from the business, inciting investigations into why he hadn't arrived at a similar degree of progress as figures like, for example, Steve Harvey. It's important that Williams and Harvey have had a stressed relationship for north of 10 years, and there has all the earmarks of being a significant explanation for their continuous conflict. I didn't have any idea about this idea. When the advertiser enlightened me in October, I destroyed it because that ain't the way I've at any point elevated a show to follow the beginnings of their quarrel. We should return to December 2008, when Katt Williams freely scrutinized Steve Harvey before a Christmas season show. This occurrence denoted the inception of their contention, which has persevered for nearly 10 years. It's actually important that both Katt Williams and Steve Harvey have been engaged in conflicts with different humorists, and this specific occasion was no exception as per Katt Williams. Steve Harvey's standing may not be essentially as certain as it appears to some, depending on who you address. Harvey is either celebrated as quite possibly the most entertaining person on earth or considered to be a big name, with a not exactly heavenly standing. Williams has guaranteed that Harvey has a few carefully guarded secrets, including bits of gossip about abuse towards his staff. Relentless tales have coursed with respect to the eminent comic and moderator not treating his staff well, besides, after his television show moved to Los Angeles. Harvey supposedly sent a questionable update to his new staff, setting expectations ordinarily connected with visits. Writers these claims have added to the current pressure between the two entertainers, and I was unable to track down an approach to strolling from the stage to my changing area to sit in my cosmetic seat from my changing area to the stage. Katt Williams seems to have authentic explanations behind his complaints against Steve Harvey in November 2015. I have a similar outlook as a man who confronted a claim for supposedly seething plans to rent a personal luxury plane. This happened after more than $400,000 worth of remodeling had been started purportedly at Harvey's solicitation. The mentioned upgrades included custom flooring, covering a reconfiguration of the inside lodge from 16 seats to 14 seats, a custom seat plan, and new upper and lower lodge sidewalls, as indicated by TMZ answers as per a personal luxury plane organization. He didn't cover the bill. This is a spectacular story after they tweaked the damnation out of the Williams has likewise claimed that Harvey, who featured as a secondary school music instructor on 1996's The Steve Harvey Show, lifted the reason for his show from humorist imprint Curry, who featured as educator imprint Cooper on the sitcom Hanging with Mr. Cooper, which appeared in 1992, the very Steve that went to go watch imprint Curry do his entire sitcom, and afterward took all that imprint Curry had. Williams said now, Steve got a sitcom where he's the head and he wears a suit. Williams likewise excused Harvey's acting chops, spearheading Harvey's case that he would have rather not sought after a movie vocation because he was unable to be a celebrity. Williams said there are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood consistently, and not one of them requests a backwoods folk dark fella that can't talk great and seems to be Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You have to have range. What's stunning in this is that allegedly Katt has gotten passing dangers for this and is even being repudiated from the business, and he imagines that the equivalent might have happened to Richard earlier. It was also seen when he was supposedly trapped in discussions during his profession, and one such was his supposed arranged hit on Paul Mooney and his supposed issues with men. Richard earlier has most certainly acquired overall regard on account of his genuine work anyway. Only one wrong maneuver, and you hit somebody's disdain list appears to be something almost identical. Happened to Richard well. There was this biopic about Richard Pryor underway, and Mike EPS should play him, yet things got untidy. Genuine Speedy turns out earlier's widow blamed EPS for affronting her late spouse, and very much appreciate that the film went from profoundly expected to all-out show you should. Interested about what simply occurred between them? Well, hold tight, in light of the fact that you are going to find out she going me. You will individuals court individuals court individuals courted. So after absolutely in his tri-entertainer comic Mike EP's shot to the first spot on the list to play Richard earlier in Lee Daniels' biopic at the Weinstein Organization, Daniels was hanging out at T-Double. You see Central Command, looking at a lot of youthful entertainers like EP's Michael B. Jordan, Marlon Wayans, and Scratch Cannon, and Gossip had it that Kate Hudson and Anne Hathaway were in the mix for Earlier's widow. Jennifer Lee Earlier envisions what no joking matter it is for these folks to land the job of somebody they worship developing up and later stone the stage like him. It probably has been additional exceptional for Epps and Wan, since they should play Earlier and Pryor renditions of the film that never worked out. How you feel about doing that? Well, you understand what I'm outrageously, unassumingly frightened. You know I'm super unfortunate, however, in a modest manner. In the past form of the unbelievable comic story, Wan had caught the job when Sony was set to create with Bill Condon, coordinating in Adam Sandler's Blissful Madison. Delivering EPS really scored the gig back in 2005. While earlier he was still near and effectively associated with the undertaking with his significant other through Indigo Creations. In those days, Walter Slope, known for helming Eddie Murphy's breakout job in 48 Hours, was scheduled to direct and co-compose the content. At the point when EPS figured out the Pryors had picked him, he was amazed. I met Richard and felt like I was in Oz the entire time. EP said it's difficult to portray how he affects me, or any stand-up comic. You could say he's paid the contribution for all that we do up there. The earlier film had encountered different efforts to rejuvenate the film, including one that would have featured Damon Wan Marlon's sibling. They decided on EPS in light of the fact that they were searching for an entertainer who hadn't proactively been marked a tremendous star by then earlier, who was engaging in various sclerosis and restricted to a wheelchair and died in 2005. His widow persevered through the failure to see every emphasis of the film build up some forward momentum, only to eventually fall as of late. Jennifer Lee earlier talked about satire promotion to advance the re-arrival of 3 earlier vinyl records. Jennifer additionally wrote a report on the hotly anticipated Richard Pryor biopic. Things didn't exactly improve for EPS, and just after that, he continued on toward play. Subscribe She Spice for more videos